Hey, good morning, YouTubers. Hope you're all doing good today. I wanted to come and tell you about a dream that I had this morning. I was having dreams all night, and again, like I said, my dreams always relate back to being chased. And so my dream started by being chased. I was being chased through these country roads, past little like country stores and little hotels and things, and then finally I hid into this one restaurant. The restaurant was full of people, but I went to the basement of the restaurant and I hid in the basement. And then these girls came to try to beat me up. Don't know what that was about. And finally I got them out of the room and I shut the door of the room, but there was a window in the room, and when I looked in the window, I noticed there was also on the side of me a TV screen, which I could see outside of the building. And when I looked in the window, I saw a guy coming to the window, and then when I looked at the TV screen, I just seen him gonna disconnect the pinhole camera, and he said, first we disconnect the pinhole camera. So then I knew they probably were going to try to kill me. That's the feeling that I had. And then my dream switched. Now this is the funny part, is that my dream switched this morning. It was like around 7 in the morning. And I do this thing at night where I wake up and I go back to sleep and I wake up, and it's like I would say at least a couple of times an hour. It seems like that way, and it's at least like 8 to 10 times I wake up to turn over. And it was like one of the last times this morning was early. I knew it was light out. I didn't even actually think I was sleeping, but then I guess I went back to sleep. And the dream was that I was sitting on a back balcony, and I'm going to guess it was this restaurant, but it felt like a home, but it wasn't my home. I was sitting out there, we were having a barbecue, and it was kind of weird because Dr. Oz was there. And so Dr. Oz, you know, is a television personality. And you know, this should have told me something weird was going to go on in my dream, just straight up there that Dr. Oz was there. And so we're sitting there and we're having drinks, and we're sitting on these old school patio chairs, like camping chairs, you know, the ones that have like a strip of material, it has some like wacky design in the material, and they're like woven together and they just fold out. So we're sitting on those, and I look beside me, like in front of me is Dr. Oz, and then beside me when I look there, it's my mom. But my mom's been dead for like 17 years, so it was nice to see her. So that was funny. I thought that was really good. And the funniest part was that Dr. Oz was hitting on her. And I was like sitting there going, Mom, don't you know what Dr. Oz is hitting on you? And she didn't seem to have a clue. In any case, I put my feet up on a little table that was on the side, just, you know, getting comfortable. And then I noticed there that out of my leg is like a little thing sticks up out of my leg, and it kind of just like goes like, here's my leg, and it sticks up and makes this little movement, and then it goes away. And I'm like, what the heck? What's that? And then I'm like, Dr. Oz, look at my leg. And then he sees the little thing come up, and then he's all like, goes right into TV mode, like right into actor mode, you know, and he's like, gets down on his knees, and he's like, well, this is really interesting, and you know, sometimes we see this. And he goes, it's like if you've been to another country or something. I haven't been to another country. I guess the dream didn't know that. But then he tries to grab it and pull it out, and it keeps slipping back in. So he goes, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up your leg and take it out. And so he opens up my leg, like from my knee to my ankle, one big long cut, and opens it. And actually, like, there's my bone and my leg hanging this, you know, and I'm like, what? And it was completely painless. It didn't hurt, and I was like freaking out because I'm thinking this is like horrendously gross. But he was going along talking about, like he does on the show, how he talks about, you know, when this happens and that happens, and then all of a sudden we see this maggot. It surprised me. Oh, my tea is ready. We see this giant maggot. Okay, so I got my tea. And I'm going to continue with the story. Okay, so the giant maggot. Also, I'll let you know, I made these cookies yesterday. A coconut oatmeal. You might want to look that up. They're really good. Made with molasses instead of brown sugar. Okay, so he opens my leg, and then there's the maggot, and it's big. It's like a giant. You saw the photo. That's not the real photo, obviously. I got that off the internet. Giant maggot. So he's trying to catch it. It's all slippery, but as he's pulling it, it's sticking inside my leg, like it's like hooked on to me, and it won't let go. And so finally he gets it off, and he puts it in a container, but he's holding it like it's a baby, like it just was born, you know, like, oh, and he's talking about it, and talking about maggots and how they eat dead flesh and how you could have got it. And he said that, you know, he's talking about how the maggot, you know, like probably a fly came and laid an egg when on a cut that I had or something like that, you know. So he's telling everybody like as if he's doing the show. So then he says, okay, well, there you go. We got the maggot out, whatever. He goes, but wait, let's check and see if there's, you know, make sure there's no more. And when he moves the muscle of my leg over, there's another, even bigger one. It's even bigger. And it's like, he's trying to pull it out, and he's wrestling with it. And it's like twisting and slipping, and it really doesn't want to get caught. He pulls out the maggot. He puts it in the container with the other one. He finishes talking up. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. This is not normal for me to have 2 maggots in my leg and not know, and for him to open my leg up and it has no pain. I'm really grossed out though, like it's disgusting, but there's no pain. So he goes, and then you just put the leg back around the bone and you just put it back together, and he goes, you press the skin together. And like putty, like Play-Doh, it just sticks back together. And I'm thinking, okay, this is even weirder because that obviously needed to be stitched up or something. He doesn't put any gauze or any bandage to hold it together. So I put a sock on it and hold it up, you know, put the 2 socks on. So I look like that little girl, the girls from Glee. And I'm weirded out now, so I don't want to sit by Dr. Oz anymore. And I go over to the other side of the table where there's that old friend, that like these girls that used to come in to hang out with my daughters. Her name is Elena Thorburn. So Elena goes, come over here, Lori. And so I go sit with her, and she has this plate full of food that looks like stars, and they're dark green. They almost look black. It's almost the color of like seaweed, like that dark. And they're like stars. And I'm like, what is this? I've never seen this before. And she says, oh, it's hot peppers. She goes, here, have some. So she cuts off a piece. When she cuts it, it's like a tetrahedron, you know, like a Merkaba. And so she cuts me off a piece of this Merkaba pepper, and then I eat it. And she says it's hot, but it wasn't hot at all. And so then beside me I have a little bag. Now I don't know how the bag got there, but I assume that I brought it with me. I open the little bag, and then the little maggots come out, and I feed them some of the hot pepper. And then I was like, look, Dr. Oz, that maggots like the hot pepper. And I'm feeding them like they're pets, you know. And I mean, everyone knows me with my animals. So, you know, I have 5 dogs. I have my little bird. I have my cat. And so any animals that I find, I'm usually really nice to them, even help spiders outside and that sort of thing. And so I'm feeding the maggots the hot pepper, and he goes, those are not our maggots. And I was like, yeah, they are. He goes, no. He goes, when you have something like this happen, you have to call the university in your area, and you have to have a medical, he called it a medical police escort for bioorganic entities. He goes, you have to be escorted by the medical police. And I was like, what? I've never heard of medical police. He goes, yeah, your maggots are gone to the university. He goes, I escorted them there myself with the police. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, what is this bag of maggots I have here? There's 2 maggots in a bag, and they're eating my hot peppers. And then, unfortunately, I woke up. But I have to say, usually your feelings are important for the dream. So the feelings of my dream, the feelings of my dream was, I was not angry, I was not upset. I actually was very interested and very entertained, and I thought it was actually very funny. And usually when you're going to read your dreams and you go by your feelings of your dreams, you kind of say, okay, well, if I were an alien from another planet and there was an alien in my leg, well, not alien, sorry. If there wasn't a maggot in my leg, I would say, well, what's a maggot? A maggot is something that eats flesh. It's something that hangs around death. It's something that people think is disgusting. And so what is a leg? A leg is something that brings you somewhere. A leg is really important if you want to stand up. And, you know, so I'm trying to think, okay, what in my life is like that? So what is it that I'm trying to stand up? And I'm trying to get to where I need to go in my life, and I need my legs to do that. What is it that's stopping me? What is it like that's like death? And I am having certain life struggles right now, trying to find, you know, who I am and what I'm here for. And I've been looking up a lot on crystals, so I suppose that's where the Merkaba influence comes in. And I just figure it's just one of those things that in your dream is trying to direct you. Although I don't know what Dr. Oz was doing there. Dr. Oz is a professional, but he's also an actor, so maybe that's part playing on my dream too, that, you know, I want to be a professional, and to be professional you have to act in a certain way, so maybe that's part of it. But all in all, the feeling of my dreams, it was very light and it was very funny after being chased half the night to end up on a balcony with Dr. Oz and my mom with maggots in my leg. So I just want to tell you guys that because I got a lot of great response on my other dream video, and I thought that you would enjoy hearing that. Okay, so have a great day. Thanks. Please subscribe. And rate and comment, of course. Send me an email, send me a message. And that's it. Take care.